most about school?
Just seeing people, and that's about it.
Friends. Pretty much the camaraderie. You know, a lot of people that I met. I mean, the classes were great. It was hard, and staying up and studying. I used to like the cramming part. Sleeping in the library.
Oh my gosh, just the people I met. I've made lifelong friends. That's probably just the best part about it. Yeah, so I've enjoyed the whole time I've been here.
Any special messages for your mom or dad?
I love you, Mom and Dad.
You have any special messages for your mom or dad?
No, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, bio major! 07, woo!
All right, tell us about your school experience. How was it?
Oh man, it's the best school you could ever go to. Yeah, but I don't want to leave, but we got to do it, I guess. They're making us graduate.
Hey.
What do you miss most about the College of Charleston?
Having free housing.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank
What's
you.
the best thing about the College of Charleston?
The geology department.
Geology.
Geology.
The best thing about the College of Charleston was meeting all the education that I received from the professors. I loved all of my professors. These were really great guys. That was the best thing. And meeting all these people around me.
The best thing at the college is the superior education at the College of Knowledge will take us further in our life than anywhere else that we could get this type of knowledge. It's right here at the College of Knowledge, College of Charleston.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Michael S. Smith III. Second. I was reading all your notes. I'm sorry, let me do it again.
Okay.
No, stay there. Michael S. Smith II. Mary Scribbling. Sarah Blake Whitney.
We thank you for sticking around. Unfortunately, the weather was quite dramatic. They were hit quite hard in Mount Pleasant, Bulls Bay. It split also and went west. West of Ashley was hit quite hard, so we were fortunate here in the peninsula. Just got a shower. Should all be over with now, so we're off and running. Happy Mother's Day. We are going to go through with the entire ceremony. The students will walk. Welcome to the Cistern Yard. I am particularly pleased to welcome the many family members and friends and guests who are here today to celebrate the accomplishments of these terrific students we have up here on the stage. The college has a deep, rich history. It was founded in 1770 by a group of men that included 3 future signers of the Declaration of Independence. That's Edward Rutledge, Arthur Middleton, and Thomas Hayward, and 3 future signers of the U.S. Constitution, John Rutledge, Charles Pinckney, and Charles Cotesworth Pinckney. We've been educating students on these hallowed grounds since 1785. And the first true commencement ceremony we had was in 1794. We begin with our national anthem, and by the way, the national anthem is a recent addition to the ceremony. It was composed in 1812, 18 years after our first commencement ceremony. So would you please stand for the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, the home of the brave?
Those were 2 of our seniors. Weren't they spectacular? It's Kathleen Greenhaw and David Burton. Kathleen and David, thank you very much. Well, this is clearly a special day for all these students on the stage, and I'm sure, I hope, it's one that you'll never forget. I want you to know it's equally special for me. This is my first commencement as the president of this remarkable institution, and I know I'll never forget this day. You should all be extremely proud of what you've accomplished here at the College of Charleston. Our programs are rigorous, they're cutting edge. Your efforts have earned you a very valuable degree. Now, I know you got to this point mostly on your own, but credit should also go to your families and to your friends. The support system that they provide is a critical role in our educational process, and I would like, if they're able to do this at this point in time, I'd like the parents and grandparents and spouses and other family members and friends to stand so that our students and our faculty can thank you for all that you've done. Each of you has truly made a unique contribution. Each of you is a member of our College of Charleston family, and we thank you. I'm sure that at some point this weekend, many of you took your family and friends around campus to show them the college. But it's likely that you pointed to the wrong things on that tour. The college is not Randolph Hall. It is not Addlestone Library. It's not the Cistern Yard or any other building or place on the campus. The college is its people, its students, its faculty, its staff, but especially its graduates, its alumni, and the remarkable impact our alumni have had on our world. Each class that exits through Porter's Lodge faces its own unique set of challenges. Some graduates faced war, recession, or personal tragedies. Others were confronted by the transformations of the Industrial Revolution, the struggle for civil rights, or the emerging global marketplace. When Robert Mills was a student here in the late 18th century, he lived in a country unsure of itself, struggling to find its new identity. To quote a friend and mentor of mine from Atlanta, a former Coca-Cola executive, Earl Leonard, it was not the best of times, not the worst of times, but it was his time. When Robert Mills left Charleston to pursue further study in architecture in Philadelphia, his knowledge of Greek and Latin from his days on this campus most definitely informed his architectural sense and vision. His neoclassical designs captured the spirit of the young United States. You find his work in many of the courthouses around the state of South Carolina, but you can also see his bold vision in our nation's capital. He is the architect of the stark, gleaming obelisk we all know and we all cherish, the Washington Monument. John C. Fremont studied at the college in the late 1820s and early 1830s. Although separated by only a couple of decades from Robert Mills, he lived in a very different America. Fremont's America had a beckoning frontier, a manifest destiny to push west. Fremont's America was also slowly coming apart at the seams over slavery. It was not the best of times, it was not the worst of times, but it was his time. Fremont was not a passive player in his America. Known as the Great Pathfinder, he led several expeditions to the west, paving the way for the many wagon trains to follow. As the first Republican candidate for president, Fremont was an outspoken opponent of slavery. In fact, as a major general for the Union Army, he issued an order freeing the slaves of Missouri in 1861. And after California was admitted to the Union, he was one of California's first 2 U.S. senators. Burnett Maybank graduated 1919, when the world was recovering from the war to end all wars. He entered a job market full of optimism and vigor, but the roaring 20s eventually gave way to the Great Depression. Maybank, who served in the U.S. Senate during FDR's presidency, played a pivotal role in the development of the New Deal and America's recovery from the depths of that recession. Arthur Ravenel and Jim Edwards were both members of the class of 1950. They carried their diplomas into a world defined by the Cold War and of the expansion of U.S. influence around the world. They faced the threat of communism and atomic warfare. They felt the early tensions of the civil rights movement. It was not the best of times, it was not the worst of times, but it was their time. Both men were active agents for change. Arthur Ravenel distinguished himself in the U.S. Congress and the state legislature. And even today, at age 80, he continues to serve the community on the local school board. He is, of course, the namesake of our new, beautiful, gleaming bridge over the Cooper River. Jim Edwards made his considerable contributions as governor of the state of South Carolina and later U.S. Secretary of Energy under President Reagan, and then as president of the Medical University of South Carolina right down the street. Lastly, Arlinda Locklear, class of 1973, came of age in a time of turmoil in the United States, Vietnam, Watergate, energy crises, racial tensions, all of that was dividing America. It was not the best of times, it was not the worst of times, but it was her time. Arlinda Locklear was not fazed by the divided country. She proceeded to make a difference in her world. A political science major, she went on to a career in law and focused on equal treatment of Native Americans, particularly in the area of treaty and reservation rights. In her pursuit of justice, she became the first Native American woman to appear before the U.S. Supreme Court. And in true College of Charleston fashion, she won her case. And then she won another one, and she won another one. Now, if you draw any inspiration at all from these alumni stories, let it be this. These people did not let their times define them. They defined their times. You have at your disposal the same tools they had: imagination, knowledge, drive. And it is not the best of times, not the worst of times, but it is your time. Walk through that gate. Walk through that gate and change our world, please. And when you do walk through that gate, you will be alumni of this historic and prestigious university. You will join a network of approximately 40,000 alumni around the world, a network that I know you will benefit from throughout your careers. I can almost guarantee you that. We look forward to following your careers and celebrating your many successes that come and the accomplishments that lie ahead of you. Just as you needed us, if you will, to reach the gateway to your career, we need you also to help the college achieve its true potential. We need your expertise. We need your advice. We need your feedback. We need your help as advocates for the college in recruiting new students, in strengthening the relationships with the many institutions that you will work in and the many communities that you will live in over your lifetime. We need your help in building a vibrant and responsive alumni network. And yes, we will need your financial support. You will be hearing from me and my successors 2 or 3 times a year for the rest of your lives. I hope you will respond. The chairman of the Board of Trustees, Bobby Marlowe, will join me at the podium for the conferring of an honorary degree. Bobby. Would trustees Don Belk and Demetria Clemens please escort Mr. Jerry Zucker to the podium.
I hereby present Jerry Zucker, a distinguished businessman and community leader. Renowned as an inventive industrialist, Mr. Zucker is the chairman, president, and CEO and founder of the Intertech Group and has more than 350 invention disclosures, which have resulted in numerous patents, commercially successful process and products worldwide. His remarkable career is a lesson in innovation, smart investment, and business acumen, as well as a lesson in giving back to the community. Jerry Zucker, we are privileged to present you as a candidate for an honorary doctorate degree. Jerry Zucker, you are an exceptional leader in the business community and an extraordinary philanthropist. The College of Charleston is proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
By the authority of the state of South Carolina, granted to the Board of Trustees and committed to me, I now confer on Jerry Zucker the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Mr. Belk will invest the hood. Today's commencement speaker, Jerry Zucker, is truly a remarkable man. He is an innovator, he's an entrepreneur, he is a philanthropist, and being known for just one of those characteristics is enough for most people in their lifetime. And Jerry Zucker is all three. He's an amazing individual. He is a caring, hardworking, imaginative visionary, traits that we at the college strive to instill in all of our students. Jerry, you have shown all of us in the Low Country and beyond how the compassion of one can touch the lives of many. Thank you.
President Benson, Chairman Marlowe, trustees, faculty and staff, honored graduates, families and friends. Good afternoon and happy Mother's Day. I'm truly honored to have been given the opportunity to address all of you today. Paraphrasing Benjamin Friedman, as reported by the Policy Information Center at the ETS, which is the Educational Training Center, our economic well-being is linked to the fabric of our society, arguing that individuals and societies are more trusting and more inclusive and more open to change when leadership inspires us to see our futures and that of our children as bright and secure, and that the economic growth is not merely the enabler of higher consumption, it's in many ways the wellspring from which democracy and civil societies flow. As graduates, you must each find a way to inspire others through your leadership. There was an article in the weekend edition of the Wall Street Journal at I believe it was the first week of March, and perhaps somebody can double check this later, but I believe it was March 3rd of this year, entitled Leading from Below. Although the article itself focused on the nature of corporate America, the underlying message was that in order for any organization to be successful, and by extension our society, individuals throughout, not just at the top, must be willing to take charge, to lead others by their own words and actions, to serve as examples for others to follow. We as individuals and as a society as a whole have a tendency to blame others for problems. By simple example, if our children don't excel on examinations, parents and others often fault the schools and the teachers or the government rather than taking personal responsibility as parents. Regardless of the issue, whether at home or at work, we, with few exceptions, tend to suggest that whatever the negative issues are, they're the result of someone or some organization's actions or inactions. Instead, what we should, each and every one of us, all do is ask ourselves the question, what can I or we do? What immediate and longer-term actions can we take, each and every one individually take, to make a difference? There's a book written by John G. Miller entitled QBQ, The Question Behind the Question, which in simple terms explains how, if we rephrase our questions, we can simply redirect and rechannel our lives into a series of affirmative actions by asking ourselves the question, what can we each do now, tomorrow, and the days to follow to constructively affect all the various issues that arise? By way of simple example, and I'll use a commercial example, if I'm passing through one of our 600 Hudson's Bay retail outlets in Canada, and I happen to see a snag in a carpet, rather than asking when's maintenance going to fix that, I just simply get on one of my knees, take the Swiss Army knife that I have in my pocket with a pair of scissors on it, and I snip it off, and the trouble is done. You know, there are no more further runs, it's resolved. Every one of us has little things in everyday life that we can do to immediately affect the change. If you happen to be at your employer and you're going to the restroom and there's a mess on the counter, it's just wet and messy, you could walk out and say, well, maintenance is on the schedule to take care of that in a couple hours, or you could reach into the wastebasket and get the partially used paper and wipe the counter off to make sure that it's pleasant for the next person that comes in. If you think about all the little subsets of life, all the little things that you can make a difference in, this applies to everything in your life. We need not wait for others. We each can make a difference by our own actions. My father, of blessed memory, when asked about his age, which he would not give, would often say, no one should be judged by their years, only by their deeds. That God had made humankind in his image, meaning that humankind had been given intelligence above all other animals in order to complete the creation. That we each as individuals have an obligation to contribute to tikkun olam, to the repair of the world. That each and every one of us, regardless of our faith, have an obligation to tikkun olam, to do something to improve upon the world that we came into. We are indeed living at a pivotal and potentially dangerous turning point in the history of humankind. A time like no other in our history, that we can, as a people, only survive if the good and freedom-loving people of the world join together to combat the forces of evil that have come and organized themselves in an effort to foist upon us their intolerant views, their distorted and fanatical theologies, and questionable system of values. Although a very small subset of an enormously larger population, they, through intimidation and the misguided attempt of appeasement by others to avoid confrontation, are in fact aggressively advancing. We have operations all over the world, and I can tell you this as a fact. You're not getting the full story when you listen to the media here in this country as to what's happening. Please join me in making a commitment to not stand idly by, but to rather speaking out against injustice and tyranny and taking whatever affirmative civic actions are possible to better the world. My wife, Anita, and I are both the children of surviving members of the Holocaust. My father, having been the only surviving member of his immediate family of 11, and both of Anita's parents are survivors. Our families know all too well the byproducts of intolerance. The war we have before us today is not a war of religions. It's not a war of religious views in a traditional sense, but rather a war of freedom versus tyranny, a war of tolerance versus intolerance. What the world needs now, and I'm saying this to our graduates as well as those others where it applies, what the world needs now more than ever before is courageous leadership. Hopefully many of you at this gathering today will be willing to commit to the effort to gather the courage to do what is necessary to combat the evil of intolerance which is upon us. If our uncensored media had been on the beaches of Normandy or Omaha Beach or Sword Beach on D-Day of World War II, we would likely have cowered as a people, and today we would likely be living under fascist or Nazi tyranny. We've lost some 3,500 of our soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan over a period of 4 years. Imagine if the American people had lost the will to save the free world. Imagine if today's electronic media had allowed the American and British people all to witness, at today's standards, over 4,000 of our soldiers die as they did in the first few hours of our invasion on the beaches of France, or the 50,000 who died so brutally in the opening months of the war. The United States alone committed the lives of over 400,000 who died and almost 700,000 additionally who were wounded to save the free world during World War II. We must not falter or cower today. We have, unfortunately, politicized the current global issues in our country as Republican versus Democrat or conservative versus liberal. If ever there was a critical cause that requires the unity of all free people in the world, not just those in our country, it is now. Looking for excuses or someone to blame, as is often politically expedient, will never be of value. Looking for someone or an organization to blame is simply relegating to the past. Having the courage to accept personal responsibility, whether for the simple daily occasions of our jobs, or family life, or civic duty, and each of us holding ourselves individually accountable for our own actions or of equal importance inactions is critical. Get involved in making a difference. Each of you here today has the potential to lead. Whether at work, at home, your communities, make the required effort to make a positive difference in the world around you. Things are not always as they seem, especially as often portrayed by our electronic media. Have the courage to seek the truth. The truth is not necessarily common knowledge, or what you received in an email or saw on a webcast, nor necessarily or even probably consensus thinking. Be courageous, dig for the facts beyond the superficial. Be, and if appropriate, willing to change conventional thinking. By way of example, I'll tell you the story of Ibram Dwari, formerly the manager of the Intertech Group's Phillipsite and Zeolite mines in Jordan, who regrettably recently died, but of natural causes. He called me after hearing our President's State of the Union address. And by way of background, Ibrahim was a Christian Arab whose family had lived in the region for generations. He had 2 PhDs. He had one that he had earned in chemistry and one in geology. Needless to say, an exceptionally bright individual and very capable. The day after hearing our President speak for the State of the Union address, Ibrahim called very excitedly and he said, and I'll try to quote as closely as possible, "When will your government ever learn that Al Jazeera and Al Arabiya are not your friends? Less than 1/4% of the people at large speak English. Al Jazeera and Al Arabiya translate however they choose and almost always give the words a negative spin. You need to get your own Arabic speaker. You need those that speak Arabic directly to communicate." How many of you, and I challenge our graduates, how many of you read the congressional reports that are published? Well, here's a man in the Middle East, Ibrahim, after reading the publicly released congressional reports and the committee's assessment of whether or not Iraq had weapons of biological and chemical warfare, Ibrahim said to me, "What nonsense that there were none." He said, "Everyone in the street knows otherwise. The lines of trucks and military vehicles flowing for days with the gates lifted, flowing into Syria. There was no way your government satellites didn't see what we could see on the ground. When are you going to inspect Syria?" And I might point out, as a side note, Ibrahim's feeling was that the reason that this did not become a matter of issue, he felt that that the Republicans and the president would not win the election because people would have been concerned that he was about to invade Syria. And after the fact, there was so much difficulty in Afghanistan and Iraq that he couldn't afford to be a toothless tiger by announcing anything about Syria and then not being able to do something about it. Those were his views. And as many of you know, among other private and public roles, I'm also the president of the Coastal Council of the Boy Scouts of America, an organization which I believe embodies the fundamental and cross-generational values needed to guide our youth today and in the future, to help instill self-confidence in our youth, and most importantly, root our children in the foundation of the fundamental values needed to serve as guideposts for all of life's decisions. Individuals grounded in moral and ethical thinking are badly needed by our world to serve as both models to be emulated and leaders to help guide the future of our planet. Strong leadership requires fundamental, well-informed understandings of the real facts at hand and the courage to take the inherent risks of speaking out, even in the face of conflict with the consensus view or the masses, seemingly only informed by the media rather than performing any independent research or analyses themselves, or tracking behind what has been presented as facts, but not necessarily so. Strong leadership has the courage to stand up for what is right, not necessarily what is popular. Strong leadership sets an example for others to follow, both in words and deeds. When I was a young boy, Rabbi Tashman explained to my class that we as Jews believe that every good person, regardless of their religion, receives a reward in death, even if they only abide by the 7 tenets of Noah, a standard much less confining than the foundational 10 commandments, which are a subset of the 613 commandments contained in the Torah in the Bible. Why then, I ask, do we as Jews, any of us, abide by the dietary code, the kosher laws? Why do we keep the Sabbath day holy? Why do we impose all of the other many burdens and strictures on the lives as observant Jews, if all we need do is be good, moral, and ethical people to receive reward in death, regardless of faith? There was apparently no need to be a Jew. His response was twofold. First, he said that as Jews, we should only focus on life. For if we live an ethical and moral life, there is no need to be concerned with death and its reward or punishment. That the measure of your reward will be commensurate with the cumulative weight of your charity and good deeds, that being a Jew was not in and of itself a benefit, as opposed to other people of any faith, that to be a Jew was actually a burden, for we believe that we were chosen to serve as examples to lead others to lives of moral and ethical values, filled with understanding and compassion, charity and tzedakah means justice. So that once again I asked, but Rabbi, that still doesn't explain why we must say grace before and after meals. why we observe the details of the dietary codes, observe the many holidays, the fasts, the Sabbath, and the numerous other requirements, his answer still rings true today. That is, and this applies to everyone, that it is, if you can bring discipline to all of the ordinary events of your daily life, which are required by these observances, then you can as well discipline the evil inclinations that you can and likely will confront in the days to come. It's easy to make decisions as well as lead others when you know what your values are. I ask each of you here today to take the essence of those thoughts to heart and commit yourselves to lead by example. As Samuel Johnson, one of the most interesting English writers of the 18th century, once said, "Nothing will ever be attempted if all possible objections must be overcome first." And as Rosalind Carter once said, "A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be." Take it upon yourselves to be well-studied and courageous leaders. You will, with such effort, no doubt represent us well in the new millennium. Congratulations to all of our graduates and families. You are our future. May you go from strength to even greater strength. Thank you.
Jerry, thank you. Uh-oh. Accountability, courageous leadership, and strangely enough, the last word is discipline. Jerry, it's a great message for all of us, not just the students. Thank you very much. This year we have 10 perfect 4.0 graduates. Would each of you please stand as I call your name and remain standing until all the names have been called? And please hold your applause till we get to the end. Brooke P. Anderson in biology. Well, takes care of that. From Hartsville, South Carolina. Samuel Joseph Buelk in mathematics, Goose Creek, South Carolina. James William Davis in accounting, Newberry, South Carolina. Jamie Lauren Huff in psychology, Lawrence, South Carolina. Jacqueline Marie Koopman in business administration, Wilmington, Delaware. Anna Lineberger in international business, Belmont, South Carolina. Megan M. Marshall in communication, Newberry, South Carolina. Gardner Marshall Mundy in history, Roanoke, Virginia. Charles Shapiro in computer science, Littleton, Colorado. And Kevin James Wooten in classics and political science, Hanahan, South Carolina. Congratulations to all of you. The Bishop Smith Award, the name for the first president of the College of Charleston, and classes actually began in the first floor of the president's home, actually in 1770. The Bishop Smith Award is the highest honor a student can receive during his or her career at the College of Charleston. Recipients of the awards are chosen on the basis of demonstrated leadership and academic excellence. I'm pleased to announce that at a recent ceremony, the Bishop Smith Award was presented to Maria Caruso from Simpsonville, South Carolina, and Patrick McShay from Mason, Ohio. Would you two please stand? At this time, we welcome to the podium Sarah Excel, President of the graduating class. Sarah will make remarks on behalf of the senior class. Then she will be followed by Jackie Barry, President of the Student Government Association and the recipient of the Stern Cup. Jackie will make remarks on behalf of the entire student body. Sarah.
Yes. Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty and staff, honored guests, President and First Lady Benson. And last, but certainly not least, in fact, the reason we're all here today, my remarkable classmates, the phenomenal class of 2007. If you look around this beautiful campus, you will notice the trees, clocks, gates, and other tangible gifts that were donated by past senior classes since 1990. This year, the class of 2007 decided to create new opportunities by celebrating tradition. Seniors chose to donate to the College of Charleston Fund in either honor of or in memory of someone. By starting this tradition, future classes will continue to ensure our alma mater's legacy. I am happy to say that the class of 2007 has raised the bar for future classes. We have pledged the highest amount ever. Back in our kindergarten days, we all started with our ABCs. So I thought it would be appropriate for us to finish college by doing a little review. May I present to you the ABCs for the College of Charleston class of 2007. Feel free to jot some of these down as we may have a quiz on this later. A is for alma mater, which is what our dear College of Charleston is to us now as we are about to become alumni. B, beach, boats, bicycles, bricks. C is for cistern, a beautiful place that will forever remain in our cougar hearts. D, damp and disheveled, but still diploma bearing nonetheless. E is for the excitement of Charleston and the energy of the college, an electrifying duo. F is for three things: finale, as this is the end of our undergraduate days; future, as today represents all that lies ahead; and foremost, the friendships that we have formed, some of which will last forever. G, good times we've had as a senior class, like shucking oysters with a symphony next door, hanging out in the Stern Ballroom for the barbecue, and then later on in the cafeteria for dinner under the oaks. H, heat, humidity, and hurricane hype, an unforgettable part of life at the oldest college in South Carolina. I, independence, something we've been striving for all along, but now that we're on the brink of it, it's kind of scary. J, journey, a journey made from uncertain high school graduates to poised and prepared seniors. K is for key. Each and every one of us holds the key to our own destiny. Lessons learned, moments passed, new beginnings, opportunities. P is for professors, those who have guided us over the past few years and have bestowed upon us all their knowledge and wisdom. P is also for pile driving, our harmonious sound that has been ringing in our ears, a sure indicator of progress. Q, questions, questions, questions. Don't worry, the answers do lie ahead and all will fall into place. R is for the record-setting senior gift from the class of 2007. We have pledged over $25,000. It is also for a reunion. Can you imagine us in 10 years? S is for a sickness from which we've all been cured, senioritis. It is also for the support of our families and friends over the past few years. T, time. Tick tock, tick tock. Time's a ticking, where did our time go? Undergraduate days are over. V, very, very anxious, very nervous, very excited, very, very. W is for what? What are we waiting for? X marks the spot, and now is the time and our place. Your day, your moment, you're on your way. 0 days left. Congratulations, class of 2007. We did it.
Hello, my name is Jackie Berry, and I am the president of the Student Government Association. Members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty and staff, honored guests and parents, President and Mrs. Benson, I am honored to speak here today. And of course, to the class of 2007, congratulations. I am proud to be a part of this class, a member of this generation. In the very beginning of this year, at the College of Charleston's convocation ceremony, I presented a challenge to the student body entitled, Know Thyself, Do Not Simply Pass By. The challenge was inspired by the gates that led us to the college as freshmen, and today led each of our families here to Cistern Yard this afternoon, and then led them out and led them back in, as the case may be. It finds its genesis in ancient Greece and the great oracle of Delphi. Above the arch of the cistern gates is a Latin inscription that reads, Know Thyself. The challenge called for students to act with civility, to act with integrity, and to act with honor, because these things are the foundations for truth at the College of Charleston. The challenge was for students to not simply pass by their experience and their opportunity for greatness. I challenged that when the day came for them to walk through those gates, they know. For it is the essence of the human experience, and indeed the very reason why we sought higher education at the College of Charleston. Today we sit before you on this stage at the culmination of this challenge. Today we sit before these gates that read, Know Thyself. The question is, do we? Are we ready to cross through the gates and meet our fate at the other side? Well, I believe we are. Why? Because we are the generation of change. We were born in the wake of the Cold War. We grew up in one of our country's most beautiful moments of economic prosperity. And we are the generation that rises from the ashes of Ground Zero, from the tragedy and destruction of Katrina. We rise in a time of political divide. We are the voice of change. Our country was founded on liberty, justice, truth. Our forefathers, our ancestors, our grandparents, and our parents fought to provide the freedoms, the liberties, the lives that we are now blessed to lead. Let us learn from the mistakes of the past and move into the future with their strength, their knowledge, and their wisdom. These are all, our generation is being called to fight wars of the past that we did not start. Racism, AIDS, climate change, global inequality, these are all things brought by a distant but ever-present past. And we as a generation have the responsibility, the ability, the talent, and now the education to change and affect the world, create positive change. Thank you. We must create peace for our next generations with compassion and without hate in our hearts, so that our children's playgrounds do not quickly become war grounds. For it is not the best of times, it is not the worst of times, but it is our time. I stand before you today to challenge this generation to be the generation that no longer passes by. That we no longer pass by such issues as poverty, global warming, and global inequality, but that we take the tools and gifts that we have acquired here at the college and we use them to change the world. Now, this may sound exceedingly optimistic, but I already see the change coming. Just last month, the college held Darfur Week to spread awareness on the African region devastated by genocide. A time to change, a chance to save Darfur. And from this week, thanks to groups of aware and inspired students, the college raised several $1,000s to stop genocide in Darfur. This generation is seeking truth. It is seeking justice, and it will act with integrity and with honor. We will no longer wait for the world to change. Perhaps President John Fitzgerald Kennedy was foreseeing our future of our generation when he said, "A revolution is coming, a revolution which will be peaceful if we are wise enough, compassionate if we care enough, successful if we are fortunate enough, but a revolution which is coming whether we will it or not. We can affect its character, but we cannot alter its inevitability." The change is coming, class of 2007. The change is on the other side of those gates. Thank you. Congratulations.
Sarah and Jackie, two magnificent representatives of the College of Charleston. We're proud of both of you. Class of 2007. Are you ready to walk across the cistern? Then let's do it. I now call Chairman Marlowe of the Board of Trustees representing the state of South Carolina to assist in the presentation of the diplomas. Susan Morrison, Associate Provost, and Victor Wilson, Senior Vice President for Student Affairs, will also assist.
Upon successful completion of all requirements, and with the recommendation of the faculty, I have the honor to present the graduates of 2007. Assisting with the presentation of the bachelor's degrees will be Dr. Susan Catwinkle and Dr. Joy Vandervoort Cobb, both of the theater department, and Dr. Karen Chandler of the Arts Management Program. Graduates, the stage is still wet, so would you please be careful so that you don't slip.
Assisting with the graduates from the School of the Arts will be Dean Valerie Morris. For the bachelor's degree in art history, joining us will be Dr. Mariam Mazzoni, chair of the department. Thomas Wayne Atkins also meets the requirements for historic preservation and community planning. Jacqueline Barry. Jackie's diploma is presented by Mr. Don Belk, member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Sarah K. Burton also meets requirements for studio art, cum laude. Lauren Blythe also meets requirements for studio art, cum laude. Lauren also meets requirements for graduation from the Honors College. All Honors College graduates were awarded their certificates in a ceremony yesterday. Carter Brady. Leah Catherine Bullock also meets requirements for French. Ashley Payson Burke. Cecilia Clark Capps. Anne Catherine Condon. Andrew John Dick, art history, also meets requirements for studio art, magna cum laude. Megan E. Elger, cum laude. Catherine Allison Fowler. Maggie Fowler, cum laude. Morgan Freitag. Holly L. Heller. Ola N. Jones. Sally Marie Kennedy. Lindsay LaPrade. Kari Lisbeth Lane. James N. McDaniel. Lakia Onita McKenzie. Rebecca Jessie McMenamy, cum laude. Catherine V. Perkins. Abigail Aaron Husk. Elizabeth Gray Poindexter, cum laude. Catherine Strong Rachel also meets requirements for sociology. Siri Rhine, magna cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Megan K. Shanahan. Jessica Stannis. June Ann Taylor. Caroline Alexander Teagle also meets requirements for studio art. Rebecca L. Toms. George K. Tozer. Heather N. Yenko, summa cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. For the bachelor's degree in arts management, joining us will be Professor Scott Shanklin Peterson, director of the program. Lindsay Michelle Angel. Joan Catherine Busby. Bailey K. Fitzgerald. Aaron Lee Glaze. Rafe Douglas Goldman. Kaylin L. Hawkins. Marjorie Elaine Hendricks. Catherine Ann Lilac. Alyssa C. Miraz, cum laude. Clara Holmes. Samantha Parvin, cum laude. Victoria L. Rupas. Carly Marie Sampson, magna cum laude. Rebecca Swayze. Michael S. Smith II. Mary Kelly Stribling. For the bachelor's degree in historic preservation and community planning, joining us will be Dr. Robert Russell, director of the program. Riza Machas Bagnall. Kenlyn M. Bass. Dora M. Blunt. Mary Elizabeth Boyle. Lauren M. Campbell also meets requirements for art history, magna cum laude, also completed the requirements for the Honors College. Marissa Cefalo Cox. Amy N. Farley. Kelly Marie Ferris, magna cum laude. Scott W. Grooms. Eric Nathaniel Hall. Eric's diploma is presented by Mr. Sam Stafford, member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Anna B. Harp also meets requirements for urban studies. Theodore Junker also meets requirements for art history. John M. Kohler. Christina M. Lanphier also meets requirements for art history. Sarah A. Larson also meets requirements for business administration. Sarah E. Lewis. Carrie McClanahan Magoo. Kyle A. Nichols. Kyle's diploma is presented by Mr. Don Belk, member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Sean Pitcairn. William Jack Pataniak. William Reed Rawlings. Adam Rose. Lillian Leanne Rudisil. Jennifer Lynn Shork also meets requirements for art history, cum laude. Rebecca Catherine Seals. Christina Ray Shedlock, cum laude. Lindsay A. Strobel. Margaret Lorraine Watson. Heather Marie Worthington. For the bachelor's degree in music, joining us will be Professor Steve Rosenberg, chair of the department. David M. Burton also meets requirements for biology. Kelly S. Epperson, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Patrick Graham Fallon. Carolina Fulmer. Henriette Elisabeth Foury, cum laude. Kathleen J. Greenhall, cum laude. Paris Shane Greer, cum laude. Thomas Caleb Head. Drew C. Healy. Elizabeth Aaron Kynard. Drew M. Lambert also meets requirements for psychology. Theodore M. Meyer. Erin Elizabeth Norton. Brian M. Parmalee also meets requirements for arts management. Lauren Mary Paskey. For the bachelor's degree in studio art, joining us will be Professor Herb Parker, chair of the department. Rochelle Therese Aquino. Grace A. Barnes. Abby Marie Biddle, magna cum laude. Rebecca C. Brown. Christopher Lowell Chipley. Courtney Brown. Susan Renee Crowder. Elizabeth M. Dobbins. Amanda Lynn Downey, magna cum laude. Whitney A. Field. Joel B. Floyd Jr., magna cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Daniel G. Gamble also meets requirements for history and completed the requirements for the Honors College. Laura E. Glass also meets requirements for art history. Elise C. Griswold, Katie A. Guthrie, Kristen E. Hall, Lauren Marie Faust, Eliza Rhodes, James W. Irvin, Jamie Lynn Kirby, Nicole P. Ludeman, Diana L. Marchese, magna cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Harper B. Marchman Jones, cum laude. Irona Lee Matsuda also meets requirements for anthropology, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Lindsay M. Monahan, Daniel Robert Ponton IV also meets requirements for biology. Susan E. Reed also meets requirements for psychology. Jamie Shiner, cum laude. Philip John Thompson. Maggie L. Woodrum. Eric Young. For the bachelor's degree in theater, joining us will be Professor Todd McNerney, chair of the department. Cora Marie Andrews. Mary Ruth Baggett, cum laude. Caroline Holmes Bundy. Kenneth Camp II. Barbara Caroline Carter. Courtney Ellen Fenwick, cum laude. Paul Michael Fisher. Melissa Kristen Gettings. Laura Jacobs. Justine Elizabeth Kruger. Brooke L. Lassiter, cum laude. Amanda Nicole Lester. Laura Kitty Lounge. Jeffrey Moss. Ryan Andrew Mitchell. Jennifer Pomeranke. Kimberly Dawn Rogers. Gregory D. Saxton. Sarah S. Singleton. Ambernice Whitney Tolliver. Hallelujah. Jonathan Raz Van Pinksteren. Lauren P. Wilson. Rebecca Catherine Woolbright, magna cum laude. Whew. Assisting with the graduates from the School of Business and Economics will be Dean Robert Pitts. Yeah. For the bachelor's degree in accounting, joining us will be Dr. William R. Kaprowski, chair of the department. Ready? Edward Barron, Jason R. Blumstein, Darrell Brigman, Shelley Daniels, James William Davis, top honor graduate, Adam M. Hoffmeister, Hillary A. Jones also meets requirements for business administration. Ryan Richard New, Hunter Wagner Rice, Nellie Saw, Michael G. Pesta also completed requirements for the Honors College. Courtney Willoughby, Sean M. Sullivan also meets requirements for business administration. Teresa Ann O'Callahan, Leanna Marie Stapleton, Caroline Marchand, Emmett Benjamin Lucas, cum laude, Shelley R. Rose McCall, Elizabeth Heath Whitmer, Craig S. Wood, Christopher Craig Lay also meets requirements for business administration, Lauren T. Quinn, Ryan Wookich, Jonathan Carl Lehner. For the bachelor's degree in business administration, joining us will be Dr. Thomas Kent, chair of the department. Brandon S. Adams, Benjamin Andrew Apple, and Taylor Arnett. Benjamin Arrington also meets requirements for hospitality and tourism management. David W. Ashenfelder, Jordan G. August, Andrea N. Barbarino, Dustin Anthony Barr, Jody E. Battles, magna cum laude, Jennifer Lauren Balcom, Donna Marie Bavely, Benjamin Reed Bauer, Todd Siddons, we're going to do it, Heather M. Boiter, William B. Bollock, Nicholas Bonavita, Brittany Brent, Nathan R. Brigman, Justin S. Brumfield also meets requirements for psychology, Abby R. Bunkley, Christopher Patrick Callahan, Zachary Michael Carlton, Philip Chan, Jesse C. Chassie, cum laude, Devon Trey Cooper, Matthew Coughlin, Edward Clancy, Matthew T. Craycroft, Michael Crump, Sarah E. Cunningham, Rachel Elizabeth Curry, Brian Decker, Patrick R. Dempsey, Caitlin Diane Dennison, Donald A. Dennis, John Marshall Duane, James H. Edwards Jr. also meets requirement for hospitality and tourism management. Sean Joseph Casey Ewart, John Q. Florence, magna cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. John's diploma is being presented by his mother, Professor Hope Florence. Ready? Let's just do it. Kimberly Friedman, we're wet now. Brian Michael Fronig, Brandon Jamel Gary, Evan T. Galt, Richard A. Fellinger, cum laude. You better know it. Amel J. Gariba, Scott M. Goodbow, Adam Michael Golub, Nicole E. Gomillion, Matthew Aaron Green, Hugh Hanley, Matthew George White Hassick, John Carroll Hinder, Brendan William Healy, cum laude, Catherine Deborah Hangamule, Trey Rame Honeycuts, Philip G. Horn, George P. Hudson, Craig Booth Herron, Garrett B. Giblin, Carrie Michael McNamara Jr., Christopher Marshall Goad, Nicholas Clayton Huey, Stuart W. Hurley also meets requirements for philosophy. Oh. Joe Idamarco, Kelly Elise Eiler also meets requirements for hospitality and tourism management. Heather M. Joshiensky, Justin Stephen Jennings, Jonathan James Johnson, Brigitta B. Jones, Rosa Lee Judy, Alexandru Junko, Caitlin Ann Kelly, George Waldo Knox III, Robert B. Creighton, Alexander Michael Christoph, cum laude. Alexander's diploma is presented by Mr. Sam Stafford, member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Ryan Francis Monsman. Ryan's diploma is presented by Mr. Sam Stafford, member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Daniel Lacey, cum laude. Brian Christopher Leonard. Matthew G. McGurkin. Adam Jarrett Young. Andrew Craig Lichty. Lindsay J. Livermore. Jordan L. Locke. Thomas G. Lonsdale. Charles Walton Luther. Robert Jackson Martin IV also meets requirements for English. Tyler Benjamin Martin. Gary Mayton, cum laude. Jamie Lynn McDowell, cum laude. Patrick Brown McShay, Justin Tyler Morrison, Ashley Dane Morgan, Jatane L. Mohan, Eric O. Murray, Colleen Elizabeth Murrin, magna cum laude, Kristen E. Muncy, David Marcy, Megan Napier, Leah Lavoy Miller, Shannon Lewark, magna cum laude, Stephen Newcomb, Chow Toy Ong, Vinesh Patel, Dinah Marie Plyler, Tyler Marie McCoy, Mary Catherine Patterson also meets requirements for Spanish, John Lau Piper, Matthew Mark Podesla, Jared Scott Geller, cum laude, Gina Prevost, Elaine Papura, Justin Rasiopa, Melissa Rhodes, Marion Lindsay Riggins, John Rizzo, Jessica Elizabeth Robichaux also meets requirements for communication, Zach Robinson, Emily A. Rogers, Catherine Emily Rose, Jenny Rebecca Rummage, Sarah L. Rump, Anna Schmelzer also meets requirements for philosophy, cum laude, Jabari G. Seabrook, Lindsay D. Severe, Joseph A. Shepanek, Keisha E. Smith, David Michael Stasakaitis, Reese D. Stern, Lauren M. Stitley, Jacob Andrew Stone, Alan Clarence Tanner III, Brittany D. Taylor, Nakia Alexis Thomas, Christopher James Schumont, Robert Edward Terry III, David Michael Tudor, Michael J. Valapore, Adam H. Valapore, Adam Valenchik, John Michael Turner Jr., Angela Bene Washington, Andrew Seabrook Wallace, Christy Lynn Wigman, Tyler H. Wilkie, Catherine Ann Williford, Austin C. Williams, Malcolm A. Winks, Laura K. White, Tyler Christopher Wyman, Carol H. Whitfield, magna cum laude, Ben T. Williams, Edward Wakowiak, hot dog, Sang Yi. For the bachelor's degree in economics, joining us will be Dr. Frank Hefner, chair of the department. Hold on, Clementine. Clementine Aubrey Blanchard, Leah Elaine Barbieri, Christopher Bastedo, Michael P. Binns, Sarah Ann Dwyer also completed requirements for the Honors College, Christopher Filiberto, Michael Ewald, Daniel Monroe Havens, Justin Clunder, Joanna Christine Marson, Timothy Moore, Greg Michael Norden, Renee Elizabeth Roscoe cum laude, Jonathan J. Cilio, Mariko Jean Smith, Ryan Stephen Teichler, Ilya Velkovich also meets requirements for psychology, Catherine Ann Louise Williams, Joshua David Yater. For the bachelor's degree in hospitality and tourism management, joining us will be Dr. Stephen W. Litvin, chair of the department. You ready, Miss Lynette? Lynette E. Andrews also meets requirements for business administration, cum laude. Candace J. Bailey also meets requirements for business administration. Abby Janeda Baldwin. Jacqueline Margaret Baxley. Patrick Taylor Beecham also meets requirements for business administration. Jessica M. Barry also meets requirements for business administration. Logan Thomas Burke. Megan E. Conley. Drew S. Coster. Anna English Cowser. Heather M. Crowder also meets requirements for business administration. Chelsea Jean Didsbury also meets requirements for business administration, magna cum laude. Sean Dali also meets requirements for business administration. Alexandra Caldwell Fisher also meets requirements for business administration, cum laude. Jennifer M. Gilson also meets requirements for business administration, cum laude. Elena Ann Graham also meets requirements for business administration. Konstantin Ilchev also meets requirements for business administration. Sarah J. Isley, Jenna Jenkins, Colin Landreth, James S. London, Christopher W. Mansfield, Ashley E. Parker also meets requirements for business administration and arts management, magna cum laude. Anthony Michael Pisano also meets requirements for business administration. Charlena Marie Porcelli also meets requirements for business administration. Jason C. Pullen also meets requirements for business administration. Patrick Michael Quinn. Cassandra Lynn Smith also meets requirements for business administration, cum laude, also completed the requirements for the Honors College. Megan Stutzman also meets requirements for business administration. Christopher LaTroy Taste, James P. Tinky, Alexandria Marie Trudeau, Gary A. Vetter, Charles S. Yarsborough, Ame Ziff, Jonathan W. Whitehead, Ellen R. Watson. Thank you. For the bachelor's degree in international business, joining us will be Dr. Renee D. Muller, director of the program. Okay, skip that. Karina Arushanin, Renee Elizabeth Billum, cum laude, Stephen Pablo Bobadilla, Kimberly Beth Booter, Morgan Beverly Calcote, cum laude, Sarah Cove Cardwell, Sarah Jo Christie, Kathleen Bouquet Kreitz also meets requirements for Spanish. Carper William Davis. Sarah Louise Exel also meets requirements for French. Rachel Felker. Alexandra Eugenie David Gillette. Alejandro Gomez. Charles P. Philip Gubman. Janet Herrera. Kayla M. Hewitt. Burke Ivy Jones also meets requirements for Spanish. Andrew D. Kerr. Eli Christopher Kruger. Thank you. Lee Matthew Quivila. Lee's diploma is presented by Mr. Sam Stafford, member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Anna Elizabeth Lineberger, top honor graduate. Christopher Scott Manning. Julia C. Mariano. Jacqueline Marie McCarriger also meets requirements for Spanish, magna cum laude. Christopher Manona. Gwen B. Mosley. Malcolm S. Pine. Brian V. Rivers, cum laude. Maureen Roberts. Stone Slade. Heidi Schmidt. Marshall T. Spencer also meets requirements for Spanish. Jenna Renee Stevens. Christopher C. Stevenson, cum laude. Michael Swink. Katie L. Underwood. Erica Danielle White. Clifton Lyde Williams III. John H. Woolard III also meets requirements for Spanish.
Assisting with the graduates from the School of Education, Health, and Human Performance will be Dean Francis Welch. For the bachelor's degree in athletic training, joining us will be Dr. Thomas D. Langley, chair of the department. Meeta Arachandra Patel, Kyle Joseph Prothro, Martha Shepard, Mary Catherine Walzak, For the bachelor's degree in early childhood education, joining us will be Dr. Linda Fitzharris, chair of the department, Elizabeth Ellis Anderson, Sherry Nicole Barber, Danielle Bartit Blitch, Ashley Renee Brunson, Michelle Christine Candela, cum laude, Brittany Marie Choquette, Carrie Ella Gill, Rachel Ann Golson, Laura Harrison Gottwals, Carrie Grasha, magna cum laude, Kristen Nicole Hezerote, magna cum laude, Jennifer Lee Hostler, magna cum laude, Kimberly L. Huffman, Melissa Janice, magna cum laude, Jennifer Ashley Krosky, Lauren Ruth Laney, magna cum laude, Amy E. Lee, Braden N. Lynn, Margaret M. McHugh, Jenna Miller, Lauren Beverly Moss, Lauren E. Penson, Megan Price, Molly Simonson, Erin Michelle Troidel, cum laude, Natalie A. Vanoy, Brittany R. Williams, magna cum laude. For the bachelor's degree in elementary education, Lauren M. Assey, Lauren Marie Brakey, magna cum laude, Lacey A. Brigman, Megan Lee Crawford, cum laude, Donald Ray Buckmaster, Shelby Bussell, Melissa Ann Chambers, Heather Love Crawford, Jacqueline Lee DeLong, Marie Teresa Dobrance, Emily Anuhe Garcia, cum laude, Anuhea, Elizabeth Ann Henderson, magna cum laude, Megan Rose Insco, Paige Calloway Johnson, Amanda Lindsay Kilbane, cum laude, Isabel Bailey Knight, Benjamin Philip Lanfried, Catherine A. Martin, cum laude, Michelle Martin, Kyla Marie Masciarelli, cum laude, Camilla A. Minchin, cum laude, Anna Elizabeth Miller, magna cum laude, Crystal Nesbitt, Angela Matthews Parnell, magna cum laude, Piper Calloway Patterson, Charles Lewis Pingree, Kimberly A. Provo, magna cum laude, Darcy Jane Smith, summa cum laude, Emily Jeanette Smith, Nina Nicole Watterson, Juanita Nicole White. For the bachelor's degree in middle grades education, Brandon Todd Baker, Megan J. Bresnahan, Monica D. Coffey, Alexandra Davis also meets requirements for biology, cum laude, and Amanda L. Goolsby, cum laude, Charlotte Ann Grabman. Charlotte's diploma is presented by her sister, Andrea Grabman. Ann K. Hills. Ann's diploma is presented by her grandfather, Dr. Julian McGill. John Hyde Volpe. Rebecca Lynn Kaiser. Megan E. Lenton. Shauna Nicole Robinson. Kristen Trace. Victoria K. Venezinio, cum laude. For the bachelor's degree in physical education, joining us will be Dr. Tom Langley, chair of the department. Creighton J. All, James Perry Allen, Courtney N. Anderson, Howard Myron Ash III, also completed requirements for secondary education. Jennifer L. Belso, also completed requirements for secondary education. Emily Bebenroth, Dory Lucas Boatwright, magna cum laude. Mary Caitlin Boggs, Elizabeth Boland, magna cum laude. Jordan Burnett, cum laude. Maxine Joanne Capewell, Patricia A. Selmer, cum laude. Kara Elaine Cox. Joseph Alexander Friddle. Valerie A. Fritsch, cum laude. Siobhan Mary Gallagher. Elizabeth Coster Gazelle. Elizabeth's diploma is presented by her uncle, Dr. Henry Donato. Christina Graham, magna cum laude. Kara Green. Virginia Lee Green, cum laude. Bronwyn Marie Haynes. Eliza Jane Hendricks. Joanna Latrice Henry. Isabel S. Hopkins. Erica Demetrius Eric. Whitney Alexandra Jeffrey. Catherine Alice Jones. Amber S. King, cum laude. Kelly Lambright, cum laude. Alexis Morgan Lowe's, magna cum laude. Joanne E. Lyons. Sarah A. McInnes, cum laude. Bridget M. Martin also completed requirements for secondary education. Stephanie H. Miller, cum laude. Renee Elizabeth Mitchell. Lindsay Susan Morgan, magna cum laude. Hallie C. Niedenthal. Thomas Fraser Orton. Minta Francis Plavisak. Rebecca Page Shaw. Laura B. Stoudemire. Ashley Odessa Somerville. Amanda Timmers, cum laude, also completed requirements for secondary education. Anastasia Vinjarowski. Sarah E. Voss, magna cum laude. Jeffrey A. Whitener. Taking this down now. For the bachelor's degree in special education, joining us will be Dr. Meta Van Sickle, chair of the department. Sarah D. Buchanan, magna cum laude. Lauren Bukowski, cum laude. Lana C. Circamo. Allison Breon Clark. Thea Michelle Dayringer. Ashley E. Essel, cum laude. Allison S. Goins. Kay Neal Jolly. Monica Marshall. Sarah Patterson, magna cum laude. Maura Demetria Presley. Allison Lee Tobin. Susan E. Wyatt. Assisting with the graduates from the School of Humanities and Social Sciences is Dean Cynthia Lowenthal. For the bachelor's degree in anthropology, joining us will be Dr. Vaughn Buchanan, representing the department. Ellen Marie Ballot, anthropology. Daniel Lewis Bell also completed requirements for the Honors College. Tanner P. Bleakley. Daniel Joseph Boris. Blythe Dossie Brown. Lauren Burton. Eva S. Capizzola. Dawn Kristen Chitty. Julia Faye Deckman, cum laude. Elliot Dudick also meets requirements for art history, cum laude. Katie M. Hall, cum laude. Andrea Beth Herskovitz. Lauren Michelle Humphrey, summa cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Sarah Rose Kidder. Andrew Dylan McIntyre. Tessa M. Rattenbury, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Preston L. Rossnow. Tamika Renee Ross. Rebecca Shepard, magna cum laude. Erin Whitney Smith also meets requirements for art history. Erin's diploma is presented by Dr. Pam Nieslein. Patricia Brianne Steiner also meets requirements for biology, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Lauren A. Walls. Travis L. Wardell. Stephanie N. Worth. Jarrett James Zeke. For the bachelor's degree in communication, joining us will be Dr. Brian McGee, chair of the department. Catherine Leslie Abney, magna cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Arcaro. Cameron J. Aldridge. Jonathan Allen. Stephanie Jane Anderson, magna cum laude. Marissa Joy Antolino. Carrie Campbell Armentrout. Benjamin James Baker. Jenna Morris Bolaño. Shannon Elizabeth Band. Karen A. Baptiste. Erin Elizabeth Barnes. Megan Ann Barnes. Carolyn Emily Bowman. James Wesley Braden. Grace Beach. Anna Claire Hodge. Micah Malice. Avery Ann Eslocker. Elizabeth B. Beeler. Kristen Carmela Bennett. Andrew Miles Benson. Chelsea L. Brink. Jennifer Brogdon. Tanisha Vanessa Charles. Timothy Chapin. Alana Epstein. Rebecca Shea Boyan. Mark Boyce. Daniel Edward Bassell. Emily Suzanne Castelli. Paul R. Kaywood. Adam Carey. Christina A. Bumgardner. Lila Jane Cady. Lane R. Cleghorn. Jamie Elizabeth Clardy. Lauren E. Clark. Caitlin E. Clinton. Rebecca Coffey. Colby K. Colarossi. Aaron E. Corpenning. Erica Blythe Creed. Anthony Cody D'Ambrosio. Sarah C. Davis. Jean Marie DeMarco. Sarah Elizabeth Didow. Sally Ann Dobson. Julie Christine Dolan. Shelby M. Douglas. Ann Meredith Drescher. Amber Catherine Dukes. Catherine Dupree. Catherine A. Durant. Case Kathleen Eubanks. Lacey C. Ford. Joanne Elizabeth Edwards. Rachel Folk. Landon Irwin. Matthew Farrow. Jonna A. Ferguson. Sharice J. Frazier. William Lane Huntley. Daniel C. Ernst. Kendall Noel Farrell. Sarah J. Frady. Jessica Lee Gaddis. Thomas A. Gaeta. Candace Lyon Gale. Robert Huntley Galloway. Corbin Alexis German. Elizabeth Davies Gibbs. Lawton C. Jen. Lawton's diploma is presented by Mr. Al Jones, former member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Christine M. Gonzalez. Sharia D. Gordon. Maxim Pierre Gutebros. Chris Grantham. Tamika Nicole Gravesandy. Montrez Green. Gerard M. Matherson. Dana M. Gregg. Annie Veronica Hall. John M. Heinigger. Gertrude S. Helmsing. Catherine D. Hickman, magna cum laude. Laura Watterson Hiles. Sterling B. Hill. Carson E. Hilliard. Mary Bowie Holland. Megan Catherine Hunt. Jennifer M. Johnson. Trista A. Johnson. Sally S. Jones. Mackenzie K. Tara Kennedy. Rachel E. King. Megan J. Kiphart. Samantha Jane Kozub, cum laude. Catherine Ann Legree. Catherine's diploma is presented by her uncle, Mr. John Bush, member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Carolyn Lubin, cum laude. Ashley M. Lewis. Philip Levi. Catherine T. Leyden, magna cum laude. Peter Lukoff. Brian J. Loden. Adam Jonathan Longo. Gregory S. Llewellyn. Stephanie Renee Mager. Kathleen Malmgren. Jesse Allen Marcus. Megan M. Marshall. Top honor graduate. Robert Kyle Massenberg. Laura Catherine McDonough. Tyler D. Royer. Colleen Marie McIntyre. Elizabeth Ruth Magoo. Megan Michelle Miller. Stephanie Ann Mershak. Olivia Dunning Montgomery. Lauren Elizabeth Mooneyham. Lucas Polk Morrison. Catherine E. Murphy. Catherine Lee Myers, cum laude. Abigail Hope Nicholas, cum laude. Catherine O'Brien. April A. Owens. Jonathan B. Orton. Catherine Reed O'Neill. Jesse Palak. Erica Denise Parker. Randall John Pease. Paul Justin Peter. Catherine Ashley Price. Stacy Marie Reed, cum laude. Iris Renault. William B. Reinhardt, cum laude. John C. Rice. Kristen Robinson. Justin Joseph Ross. Holly Rickards. Savannah D. Rusher. Allison Russo. Megan Julia Schwab, cum laude. Shannon D. Sanders. Tanya Catherine Seamer. Catherine Slattery. Kimberly Marie Self. Christina Marie Setzer. Jessica L. Slaughter, cum laude. Bobby Joe Sliwa. Erica R. Smith. Okay. James D. Snyder. Sarah Christina Sterling. Amanda N. Stevenson. Stephanie Nicole Sturgeon. Jordan M. Summers. Sheena Marie Wagner Rathel. Benjamin Webster Tall. Matthew Daniel Thomas. Reed Walker. Jason Daniel Walter. Caroline Wertis. Elizabeth Lauren Whiteside. Julia Catherine Worth. Erin Marie Wright. Rebecca Taff Wright. Stacy Lee Zemke, cum laude. Okay.
Oh, we're doing one by one now.
Okay. For the bachelor's degree in English, joining us will be Dr. Larry Carlson, chair of the department. Heather Alexis Dean Alexander, cum laude, also completed requirements for the honors college. Ashley Banker. Ryan Bergeson. Erica Lee Bayeri. Erica Blythe Lund.
Hang on. There you go.
Larissa Amber Bryan, magna cum laude. Rebecca Ann Carty. Maria F. Caruso, summa cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Jennifer Sellers. Nathaniel J. Cochran. Michael Cooper. Kristen A. Davidson, cum laude. Ryan Garrison. Alexandra W. Gibney. John M. Green, summa cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Morgan O. Hansen. Rosa Harper, cum laude. Jennifer Kristen Haycock, cum laude. Michael Brian Jett. Jamie Diane Kilpatrick, magna cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Julia Rose Kramer, cum laude. Stephanie Ann Lees. Lara Neese, cum laude. Sarah L. Orem, summa cum laude, also completed requirements for secondary education. Benjamin Adair Parker also meets requirements for Spanish. Cassidy Pon DiMaggio. Daniel Powell, magna cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Jade Simone Pruche also meets requirements for communication, cum laude. Melanie S. Puckett. Catherine M. Rosen. Allison Silva also meets requirements for communication. Megan Elizabeth Smith. Megan E. Stubel. Sean Ferno Wallace also meets requirements for art history and psychology. Erin Marie Walsh, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Sarah Beth Whitkin, cum laude. Ashley Ann Dorn Woods. Erica L. Workman. For the bachelor's degree in history, joining us will be Dr. William Olenizak, chair of the department. David Gary Armstrong, cum laude. Ashton McLaurin Bolas. Lee Roy Brandon III. Alfonso Harold Caldwell. John C. Cleveland also meets requirements for political science. Neil Kaminer Cook. Patrick B. Dugan. Emily D. Franklin, cum laude. Landon P. Hetherington. Douglas R. Henderson. Walter Joseph Hope III. Amanda A. Johnson, cum laude. Douglas Laughlin. Joseph D. LaCaruba also completed requirements for secondary education. Hunter Lowe Lappin. Lane M. Liker. Adam Lofton. Melissa Megan McLean, cum laude. Bristow Marchant. Gregory Stephen Mason, cum laude. Mary Jacqueline McGetrick. Alexander Craig Mitchum also completed requirements for secondary education. Blair S. Morgan. Shannon G. Morton, cum laude. Gardner Marshall Mundy, top honors graduate. Robert Alexander Perry also meets requirements for secondary education. Lee Francis Rauch. Robert Aaron Statz. Jonathan David Struck also completed requirements for secondary education. William George Sweeney, Jr. Ian Taylor Thomas also meets requirements for classics. Melissa J. Tunstall also meets requirements for communication. Anthony G. Williams also meets requirements for political science. Alexandra S. Wyndham. For the bachelor's degree in philosophy, joining us will be Dr. Glenn Lessies, chair of the department. Ryan Douglas Bowman. Ryan T. Bowles. Stacy Boyette also meets requirements for English, magna cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Amanda Page Burns. Christina Lynn Shivers also meets requirements for history. Lisa Kimberly Hall, magna cum laude. David Jordan. John P. Carabes also completed requirements for the Honors College. Dustin E. Mason also meets requirements for German. Colby Reed Prout. Laura A. Prestarfi also meets requirements for studio art, magna cum laude. Daniel Tomas Rodriguez also completed requirements for the Honors College. Joshua Evan Toledo. Johannes Vandervelde also meets requirements for classics cum laude. For the bachelor's degree in political science, joining us will be Dr. Lynn Ford, chair of the department. Nicholas Charles Amon. Georgia M. Angelikas. Yana Arsova, cum laude. Stephen N. Bach, cum laude. Kristen Barchak, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Trevor J. Barry. Laura Catherine Hart. Adam W. Batchelor. Charles B. Belk. Sarah Bajorkin. Max Siegel Blackman, magna cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Erica Bonde, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Daniel Scott Harms. Daniel's diploma is presented by Mr. Sam Stafford, member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Casey Brandon Brazel. Casey's diploma is presented by Mr. Sam Stafford, member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Jenna Lee Brown. Rachel Elizabeth Brown. David Everett Butler II also meets requirements for the Honors College. David's diploma is presented by Dr. Sam Stafford, member of the College of Charleston's Board of Trustees. Elizabeth Lee Chapman also meets requirements for French. Joshua Darrell Cockrell. Alyssa R. Collins, magna cum laude. Skylar Mackenzie Curtis. Franklin James Swaska also meets requirements for psychology. Elizabeth Driscoll. Patricia Durham, cum laude. Anastasia Beatrice Emilianoff, magna cum laude. Also completed requirements for the Honors College. Catherine Jordan Falkwitz. Ashley Farmer also meets requirements for history. Emmanuel Joseph Ferguson also completed requirements for secondary education. David Adam Foster. Caitlin Frank. Alyssa Gabellini. Arthur Earl Gibson. Patrick T. Graves. Lindsay Susan Gregg also meets requirements for French. Jennifer M. Hancock, cum laude. Jamie Lauren Huff, top honor graduate. Vincent M. Ingold. Matthew William James Johnston. Allison L. Kay. Caitlin Kent. Jessica A. Kearns. Thomas Leochak. Joshua Litt. Mary Scott Madigan. Christopher Jordan Mann. Lindsay E. Mayo also completed requirements for the Honors College. Molly McDougall. Carmela McElwain. Jameson Lee McWilliams also meets requirements for sociology. Anna Meacham also meets requirements for communication. Casey Pinkering Moden. Adrian J. Moisick, cum laude. Nikolai Mon. Christina Ray Montanaro, magna cum laude. Dana Peter Mizak. Sharon E. Nichols also meets requirements for philosophy, cum laude. Caitlin A. Norfleet, magna cum laude. Ian Richard O'Shea also meets requirements for communication. Ronald D. Paget, Jr. Margaret Pilarski. Catherine L. Puza. Meredith A. Rayleigh. Elizabeth Francis Ramsey. Arden Ruth Ratliff. Arden's diploma is presented by Annalisa Moorhead, member of the College of Charleston Board of Trustees. Brian A. Revercombe. Joseph B. Ritchie. Edward Henry Sanford. Joseph E. Scroggs. Matthew Seeger. Patrick L. Sellers. Hunter P. Stunzy. Catherine Carlisle Summers. Amanda Marie Taryn. Kate Bradley Tiller, cum laude. Charles Adam Timko. Rebecca Lauren Torley. Helen H. Van Wagoner, magna cum laude. Melanie Gail Weston, cum laude. Rachel P. Workman. Megan Nicole Yarbrough.
For the bachelor's degree in psychology, joining us will be Dr. Charles Kaiser, chair of the department.
Miss him. Where is he?
You missed him. Yep. Did you give me a card?
Yeah. Where's your card?
Yeah, I'm getting to it. Haskell L. Allen. Rachel Anderson. Rachel's diploma is presented by her uncle, Dr. James Anderson. Heather R. Barrington. Robert Marcus Bartholomew Jr. Rachel Elizabeth Beaudry. Sarah E. Billingsley. Aileen L. Bleach. Blair C. Bodie. Also meets the requirements for theater. Amanda Brittany. Rachel Lyle Bridgers, cum laude. Bethany N. Bryan. Taylor Edward Burgess, cum laude. Christina Alice Callison, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Ryan Francis Caratore. Ashley Michelle Card. Catherine M. Carbone, also meets requirements for sociology. Brianna Marie Caterino, also meets requirements for studio art, cum laude. Danielle Marie Sizemore. Laura Sharon. Natalie Jane Kaufman. Mary Nicole Cook. Rachel Copeland. Hope Elizabeth Craddock, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Joanne E. Cummings, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Brittany L. Dover. Keith Edmiston. Stephanie Fields. Thomas R. Fulford. Samantha M. Gibson, also meets requirements for Spanish, summa cum laude. Dustin Allen Gonterman. Pamela M. Gregory, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Jennifer W. Hall. Ashley Atkins Hawkins, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Megan Elizabeth Halfhill. Jacob Heaton. Bethany Aaron Hendy. Allison S. Hodges. Allison Irene Holm. Shannon Hungler. Carol Reeves Houston. Quintoya Johnson. Danielle Lee Kazinas, summa cum laude. Samantha Lee Kaiser, cum laude. Cynthia R. Katz, cum laude. Ashley Klass, cum laude. Whitney T. Kono, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Joel Labuzetta. Kara Nicole Lane. Margaret R. Langford. Asia Lathan. Caitlin Leary, also meets requirements for sociology. William Lechner. Morgan E. Lee. Faster, faster. Merritt Jacqueline Lewis. Mary B. Linger. Laura Jane Long. Juliana B. Lucasano. Kimberly Nicole Marable. Amy LaShawn Marcy, also completed requirements for Russian Studies. Vicky Matsis, magna cum laude. Caroline Mitchell. Francis R. Montaigne, cum laude. Matthew Todd Smith, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Brenna Leslie Moffett, magna cum laude. Michelle Rose Muscal, cum laude. Morgan Kimberly Muscal, cum laude. Ashley Amanda Mudge. James J. Musselwhite. Mary Ann O'Callahan. Anna Catherine Oots, magna cum laude. Amar Silesh Patel. Megan K. Patton, cum laude. Jenna Marie Pavelio. James G. Preston. Karen Pacino. Kelly A. Rada, magna cum laude. Martina Radich. Daniel Ravenel. Daniel's diploma is presented by his father, Dan Ravenel, former president of the Foundation Board of the college.
Raven Ray.
Raven Ray. Sydney Michelle Reeves. Alyssa Rothstein, also meets the requirements for biology, cum laude, also meets the requirements for the Honors College. Andrea Elizabeth Rudomansky. Jillian Morgan Seeger. Leah Slomovitz. Danielle Smith. Elizabeth Steele. Jessica Danielle Stevens. Jersey R. Strickland. Elizabeth Ann Stuber, magna cum laude. Britt Terry. Caitlin E. Toomey, Sarah Jane Vedsett. Rebecca L. Volker. Zachary Warner. Christina Jennifer Williams. Stacy Wynn. Joining us for the Department of Religious Studies will be Dr. Lee Irwin, Chair of the Department. Haviland Erider also meets the requirements for psychology. Clayton V. Bird also meets the requirements for German, cum laude. Kristen E. Campbell. John Carter. Mary Louisa Cleveland, cum laude. Sean Patrick Connolly also meets the requirements for philosophy, magna cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Artemis Callie Flores. Taylor R. Moore. Kristen Melissa Richburg. Philip Justin Schwartz, magna cum laude. Tiffany L. Vassar. For the bachelor's degree in sociology, joining us will be Dr. Vaughn Bachanick, representing the department. Mary K. Ash. Zachary Thomas Burstein. Tracy Michelle Borchek. Brittany Basola also meets requirements for secondary education. Sherry Butler Broomfield. Rachel Carolyn Bryan. Karen L. Urquhart also meets requirements for French, magna cum laude. Eric C. Faust. Catherine Elizabeth Fox. Marshall Virginia Gaskill. Jessica L. Hands also meets requirements for political science, cum laude. Mara Elizabeth Hassenfuss. Ebony Michelle Hickson. Leslie P. Jameson. Kristen R. Jansen. Elisa Kathleen McLean. Anita Colton Myers. Joshua Morrison. Jessica Brooke Mustin. Lauren Rushing. Lindsay Kozel. Caroline Silverman. Mary Alice Springs, magna cum laude. Courtney L. Swift also meets requirements for French, cum laude. Holly D. Vernador. Brooke Ashley Worcester. Cassandra M. Youngberg. For the bachelor's degree in urban studies, joining us will be Dr. George Hopkins, director of the program. Bradford West. Assisting with the graduates from the School of Languages, Cultures, and World Affairs is Dean Samuel M. Hines, Jr. For the bachelor's degree in classics, joining us will be Dr. Darrell Phillips, chair of the department. Elizabeth Ann Ilderton. Kevin James Wooten also meets requirements for political science, top honor graduate. For the bachelor's degree in French, joining us will be Dr. Godwin Ewa, chair of the department. Mary R. English. Caroline Helen Enton. Charlie Montgomery also completed requirements for the Honors College. Kelly E. Schumann also completed requirements for secondary education. Lucy Randall Semish also meets requirements for communication. Eric Spring. Emily Toulouse, cum laude. For the bachelor's degree in German, joining us will be Dr. Nancy Neno, chair of the department. Wesley A. Bowling also meets requirements for political science, summa cum laude. Sutton W. Epps, magna cum laude. Charlotte Tanner Geddes also meets requirements for biology, cum laude, also completed requirements for the Honors College. Megan Elizabeth Renault. Jeffrey S. Scheidler also completed requirements for secondary education. Dale Sleer. For the bachelor's degree in Hispanic Studies, joining us will be Dr. Joseph R. Wires, chair of the department. Rebecca J. Argo also meets requirements for communication. Jennifer Lynn Arnold also completed requirements for secondary education. Brittany Nicole Carness. Molly Elizabeth Chamley. Amanda L. Coley. Teresa DeWolf. Allison C. Hill, cum laude. Catherine E. Jasper, magna cum laude. Kelly M. Johnson, cum laude. Lisa Marie Classic. John Aaron Kohler also meets requirements for biology, magna cum laude. Laura Kathleen Mason. Megan Elizabeth McArver. Cameron Nicole Neal also meets requirements for Latin American and Caribbean studies. Taylor Chance Nelson. Melissa J. Pearson also meets the requirements for biology, cum laude. Stephanie Pridgeon also meets requirements for Latin American and Caribbean Studies and the Honors College, magna cum laude. Carissa Ann Riddle. Emily Simons also meets the requirements for biochemistry, summa cum laude, and the Honors College. Emily Davenport Sharp. Amanda Marjorie Sloan, magna cum laude. Kristen Lee Smith, cum laude. Eric B. Sykes. Yaciris Torres, cum laude. Amy Kristen Walters, summa cum laude, also completed requirements for secondary education. Christian Elizabeth Yunts. For the bachelor's degree in Latin American and Caribbean Studies, joining us will be Dr. Douglas Friedman, director of the program. Nakasha Dunner also meets requirements for political science. Mark Ennis also meets the requirements for political science, cum laude. Assisting with the graduates from the School of Sciences and Mathematics will be Dean Noreen Noonan. For the bachelor's degree in biology, joining us will be Dr. Mark Lazaro, chair of the department. Misha Singh's posthumous degree is accepted by her parents, Yaswinder and Sonia Singh. Rachel Danielle Adler. Hayden E. Alwine. Miranda Mary Allen. Elisa Marie Alverson. Brooke Paige Anderson, top honor graduate. Jane Blakely Andrews, magna cum laude, Honors College. Constance Morgan Arnold. Lauren Baldwin. Sarah Elizabeth Banks. Barbara Ann Bannon, magna cum laude. Amy Lorraine Batdorf. Heather Nicole Blanton also meets requirements for psychology. Brandon Chase Bowers. Laurel R. Britton. Jordan Brown, magna cum laude. Laura Dion Buchanan. Braden Elizabeth Burleson. Jessica Lee Caples. Celia K. Chung, magna cum laude. Christina K. Chapman, cum laude. Catherine McShan Coker. Andrea Lee Cook, cum laude. Rebecca Elise Crosby. Kelly L. Damberger. Justin H. Davis. Justin's diploma is presented by his father, Professor James H. Davis. Maura Grace Davis. Zachary D. Dever. Brian Doyle, cum laude. Elizabeth Hamilton Feigley. Ismailia Francine Ferguson. Michael J. Ferrantino. Margaret Marie Campbell Freeman. Leanne Ilaria Gabrielli also meets requirements for communication. Crystal Michelle Good. Jamila Shireen Gudarzi. Kelly Scott Gribben. John Guthrie also completed requirements for the Honors College. Thomas Newton Hayden. Lindsay M. Hamlet, cum laude. Kimberly R. Hammond also meets the requirements for psychology, cum laude. Theodore Augustus Constantine Hargrove II. Michelle Lee Hatch. Christopher Allen Helsel, cum laude. David Milo Hershey III. Katie Holthouse. Melissa Jackson. William Jackson. Amanda R. Jenkins, cum laude, Honors College. Erica Rachel Johnson. Erica's diploma is presented by Dr. Pam Nieslein. Brent Warner Jordan. Owen Patrick Jordan. Cassandra Karish. George A. Coury. Kimberly Ann Kingston. Brittany M. Klein also completed requirements for the Honors College. Catherine R. Cramp, magna cum laude, Honors College. Deborah Ann Kruger. Cullen B. Kubicki. Stephanie Miriam Lair. Megan Gail Long, magna cum laude, Honors College. Joseph Brian McNichol. James Randall Marshall. Stephanie D. McCary, also meets the requirements for chemistry. William G. McMillian. Jessica Marie McMullen. Zakia Melanin Middleton. Jenny Lauren Miles, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Courtney Miller, also meets the requirements for business administration. Haley E. Moore. Catherine F. Morrow, cum laude. Aaron Murphy Baum, cum laude. Emily Adair Uten. Courtney Margaret Owen. Sarah Elizabeth Pulliam. Andrea Renee Robeson, cum laude. Chantel S. Rodner, summa cum laude. Ashley Elizabeth Ruth. Taj Kier Schreck, Honors College. Philip G. Schmaltz, cum laude. Morgan Haley Shepard. Elizabeth A. Shirley, cum laude. Robin Ensley Simmons. William Madison Smyer IV, also meets the requirements for classics. Eric William Stimson, cum laude. Jessica Lynn Terry. Alicia N. Thompson. Matthew David Tillman. Constance Margaret Tolles, also meets requirements for studio art, Honors College. Kristen Marie Trzynski, also meets the requirements for the Honors College. Danny M. Vo, also meets the requirements for the Honors College. Francis C. Wham. Natalie Christine Williams. Ashley Zahady. For the bachelor's degree in biochemistry, joining us will be Dr. James Dever, chair of the department. Graduates receiving a degree in biochemistry also meet the requirements for chemistry. Amanda M. Brock, magna cum laude, Honors College. Philip Reuben Glover Chisholm, magna cum laude, Honors College. Jolene Kendall Duncan Gould, also meets the requirements for political science, cum laude, Honors College. Paul M. Goforth, also meets the requirements for biology, Honors College. Alex M. Grimley, cum laude, Honors College. Laura Elizabeth Mabe, also meets the requirements for biology. Therese M. Martin, cum laude. Paul M. Mazzone. Jonathan Benjamin Nguyen, also meets the requirements for biology, magna cum laude. Daniel Pasco, cum laude, Honors College. Ankit V. Patel, magna cum laude, Honors College. Paramita Patti, cum laude. Stephen Eifler Power, also meets the requirements for biology. Wade Alex Reardon, cum laude, Honors College. David Lester Reynolds. Ryan S. Robinson. Alton George Sutter, also meets the requirements for marine biology, magna cum laude. Jamie Lynn Van Etten, cum laude, Honors College. Joseph R. Yance. For the bachelor's degree in chemistry, Stephen M. Cooper, Jr. Richard Carrington Dunn. Aaron Lee Hendricks, also meets requirements for secondary education, cum laude. Dina Renee Hodges, also meets requirements for biology. John D. Knight, magna cum laude, Honors College. Bonnie I. Cruft, cum laude. Lynn Arlene Mandeltort, cum laude, Honors College. Michael Patrick Stevens. For the bachelor's degree in computer science, Andrew Aragoni. Brian Andrew Cherry. West Crosby, also meets the requirements for music. Lakeisha Q. DeBose. Bryce Darwin Eckram. Jacob Richard Fettner. Brian A. Peterson, also meets the requirements for computer science. Brian's diploma is presented by Mr. Sam Stafford, member of the Board of Trustees. Charles Bistow Phillips. Charles Shapiro, top honor graduate. James R. Stambaugh, also meets the requirements for computer information systems, magna cum laude. Jonathan Tyndall. For the bachelor's degree in Discovery Informatics, joining us will be Dr. James E. Young, director of the program. Today's graduates are the first for this major. Matthew David Cook. Patrick Roos, summa cum laude. For the bachelor's degree in Geology, joining us will be Dr. Mitchell Colgan, chair of the department. Zachary Briggs. Pierre Louise Harden, cum laude. Dylan McNabb Murphy. Kathleen Rayberg. Megan Rosenblatt also meets the requirements for anthropology. Jennifer L. Seary. Dane M. Smith. Christopher Charles Alston Stubbs also meets requirements for anthropology. Matthew J. Tinley. For the bachelor's degree in marine biology, joining us will be Dr. Mark Lazaro, chair of the department. John Casey. Allison R. Chandler, summa cum laude. Samuel Ewing Krickenberger, cum laude. Ricardo Antonio de Icaza.
Just Patrick Hurd.
Patrick H. Hurd. Margaret A. Malone. Caddy Amanda McMillan. Mary Kathleen McTighe also meets requirements for psychology. Hazel I. Riggs. Melissa Marie Rocker, cum laude, Honors College. Richard Thompson. Nicole Lee Witkowski, cum laude. For the bachelor's degree in mathematics, joining us will be Dr. Dina Cavaney, chair of the department. Stephen Allen, magna cum laude. Ryan Bailey. William M. Bean, Honors College. Richard Terry Brown. Samuel Joseph Belk, top honor graduate. Tracy D. Gunter. Kelsey Lane Oren, cum laude, also completed requirements for secondary education. Kyle Garrett Keepers, magna cum laude, Honors College. Holly Elizabeth Madron. Joseph W. Miller. Kimberly Ann Monaco, magna cum laude. July Ann Nagal. Megan Renee Parkerson. LaShawn Flagg Patterson. Melissa Ann Roderick, cum laude, Honors College. Bobby J. Stamps, also completed requirements for secondary education. Eric Lynn Wilder, also meted requirements for economics. Christopher L. Wolf, cum laude, Honors College. For the bachelor's degree in physics, joining us will be Dr. John Hackala, chair of the department. Joseph L. Bramlett III, cum laude. Claire N. DuPont, cum laude. Damon Gamma Hansen also meets the requirements for philosophy, cum laude, Honors College. Joseph Travis Nolker also meets requirements for German, Honors College. Castle Wesley Sloan. Richard C. Smith, music, cum laude.
Thank you. Whoa, man.
Here's another one.
Will all the candidates for the bachelor's degree please rise? By the authority vested in me by the state of South Carolina and the Board of Trustees of the College of Charleston, I now confer on you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science as earned, with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Congratulations. Next, the Artium Baccalaureatus degrees will be awarded. This is the AB degree. The degree in classics requires significant coursework in both Greek and Latin. Other AB majors require significant coursework in either Greek or Latin. And we have another 1,500 of these students out behind the building, which are... The College of Charleston has awarded this degree for more than 2 centuries. That grand tradition continues today. Will the following students please stand? William Thomas Beebe, a classics major. Elizabeth A. Ilderton, a classics major. John M. Kohler, an historic preservation and community planning major. Daniel J. Powell, English major. Johann Vanderbael, the fourth, a classics and philosophy major. And Christopher L. Wolfe, a mathematics major. It is traditional that the audience also stand when this degree is awarded. If you would please rise. Curatoribus, auctoritatem tribu entibus, os juvenes in humani oribus, literis, preclare eruditus, ad gratum, artium, baccalaureatus, admissi. Congratulations. You may be seated. I would now like the faculty of the college to stand. They are the College of Charleston. They deserve credit for the quality, the success, the reputation of this college, and they have earned our thanks. Thank you all very much. Graduates, we are delighted with the value that you have added to the College of Charleston during your years here. We have truly learned from each other during this time. I wish each of you a long and productive career, and I offer you congratulations on a job extremely well done. We're very proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, the College of Charleston, class of 2007. If you would please stand for the alma mater, led by 2 graduating seniors, Henriette Forey and Lauren Paschke. The words can be found on the back of your program.
Hail to thee, our alma mater. Hail to thy time-honored name. Proud traditions hover around thee. May we never bring thee shame. Loyal sons and daughters of thee, strive to conquer and prevail. We sing thy praises ever, College of Charleston, hail, all hail.
Henriette and Lauren, that was beautiful. Thank you. You are now graduates of the College of Charleston. The world desperately needs you. Go get them.
Thank you.